Peace, love, and abundance of all things good to you, amazing, beautiful people. It's your girl V back with another episode of Voiced by V Podcast. What's up? Happy Tuesday. It's a beautiful day. It's a blessed day. It's a bright day. It's a beautiful day and time to be filled with joy, gratitude, peace, abundance, prosperity, all the good things that life has to offer. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling full. I'm feeling clean. I'm feeling vibrant. I'm feeling beautiful. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling blessed with joy. I'm feeling loved. And I really, truly wish that for you as well. As you can see, this is a different element to the podcast. I'm introducing a visual representation, at least for this episode, hopefully more to come. And yeah, we back. So what's good? I've gotten a great response from episode 1, Build It So God Can Bless It. And if you listen to that episode, you will know that that is the ongoing theme of this whole season, of season 2. Build It So God Can Bless It is really just a testament to, it's more so a motto and a promise to myself that is what I'm doing, that is what I'm going to continue to do, in spite of the different parts of the journey that can discourage me, that can make me feel like I am not worthy, that can make me feel like I'm inadequate, that can make me feel like I'm not doing enough, that can make me feel like a failure. It's like, no, we're going to continue. We're going to keep building, and as we build, God is blessing. So shout out to us. We made it to episode 2. And this episode is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a little while, and it's all about why getting a 9-to-5 after exploring 3 years of full-time entrepreneurship was literally the best business decision for me. I'm gonna say it one more again. This episode is all about why getting a 9-to-5 was the best business decision for me. And let's just get right into it. Let's just get into it. So I'm gonna give y'all, for those of you who this may be your first time hearing about my journey, hearing about my business, hearing about my path as an entrepreneur. I launched and created Veganease in 2019. When I started out in business, I was a vegan meal prep chef. I had meal prep plans to where people can come and purchase, and I would literally cook and prepare their meals for 5 days, 7 days, or even a 30-day period. My mission with starting Veganease in this way was to fill the void of people not able to have accessibility to not just vegan food, but nutritious, wholesome, tasty, and flavorful vegan food. In 2019, veganism had not yet become the fad or as mainstream as it is today. And so people were very intrigued by my personal lifestyle, my lifestyle choices, how I ate, what I had to do to make sure that I got the ingredients and that I was cooking my own food and that I was staying on track with my health and wellness journey. And they would always ask me questions. And I figured out a way to really streamline having to answer that question one person at a time. And so Veganease was birthed to make tasty, nutritious vegan meals accessible to the average person. The average person who is now on a journey to care, take care, and take priority and initiative into their healing journey, health and wellness journey. And so Veganease was a hit. I was cooking and I would be vending at, these local events, and people loved my food. I got great response. However, I got burnt out at some point. I got burnt out when it came to physically cooking all these meals. And I'm not someone who went to culinary school. I honestly have no true passion for culinary services in that way. And so one would think that the next step to scaling my business would be open up a restaurant, hire a team, get a food truck, right? Scale and expand the business in this way to be able to cater to more people in a more efficient manner. Well, I just decided that I did not want to do that. And so I hired mentorship, and I sat with myself, and I sat with spirit, and I prayed, and I did all the things that I needed to do mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and energetically to really align myself with the next best action for myself and for my business. And what came through was, you can still offer this solution. You can still pour into your mission. You can still show up in the way that you're showing up by offering the same thing and catering to the same exact mission, but just in a different way. And so what that meant was coaching to me. I was introduced to, the fact that I can really take what I was doing, conceptualize it, package it in a way to where I can help people do this thing for themselves. I loved it. And so the pivot of Veganease was birthed. And we're still in that pivot. That is really working. Working with clients, getting into the mindset portion of what it takes to not only change your diet, but just change your entire lifestyle and build from the ground up. What it means to really sit with yourself and discover why you want to make this lifestyle change. What are the pain points? What is it that's aching you day in and day out, whether it's physically or mentally or emotionally, that is making you feel like, I really want to change my life. I need to take steps in order to do something different. What is that thing? And it's really transformational. For me, it's so fulfilling to sit with other human beings and get to the root of the issue. Okay? And so fast forward, that's what I've been doing for maybe 3.5 years at this point, and it's working really well. And I have many services, to one-on-one coaching, to online courses that you can that are self-paced, that you can purchase from my website, cooking ebooks, recipe books, detoxes, you name it. And so there was also a portion in my journey during my coaching journey that I went full throttle into traveling. I got the opportunity to retreat in Peru in 2021. And following the retreat, I was like, okay, I'm going to answer my lifelong desire to solo travel and just explore and live on my own abroad and explore different cultures and see what this is like, and remove the limiting beliefs of what is possible here. And I did that. And so I lived in Peru for 5 months, and then I was like, okay, I'm being called to Jamaica, and I went to Jamaica for another 2 months. And after I traveled away all of my money, and I invested all of my money into coaching services and business expenses and all types of things, at some point I ended up at zero. Financially, my bank is at zero. My spiritual bank, I mean, is infinite. My physical bank is on point. My health and wellness bag is on point. All of my bags are on point, but I had to tend to my financial bag. And that bag at that time was on E. And one thing I've learned about the total health and wellness package of your life is that each and every section matters to your health, matters to your wellness, matters to your overall well-being, and how well you're not only able to show up for yourself, but how fully you can show up for the people that you serve. So after my time traveling, I moved back to New York with my family, or in my family's home. And let's just say I was not in the energetic space that was required for me to pour into my business. I was not in the energetic space that was required for me to show up for my clients in a way that would really support them and that would really contribute to the transformation that they were looking for. I was not well. I was not well enough. And what I attribute this to as well, what I've learned is that this was also my root chakra, which is responsible for the foundation. It's responsible for stability. It's responsible for safety. It's responsible for your basic needs. You feeling like your basic needs are being met. And oftentimes when our finances are not in order, that's kind of why we feel like that. Like, I shouldn't be dating. I shouldn't be, going out and having fun with friends. I shouldn't be, worried about this one or that one. I shouldn't be worried about social media. I shouldn't be worried about what my hair look like. You know what I mean? If like my basic needs are not met. And of course, those are just some examples, but my root chakra really was not in the best place. And so I needed to do what was necessary in order to take care of myself from ground up. And I went several months with no income. My family was looking out for me. People close to me were looking out for me in terms of like, handing me some money if I needed, or like taking care of the things that I needed. If I needed a ride, if I needed this, I needed that. And so community is beautiful in that way. But there's something about me that cannot rely on that. I can't rely on that as a sustainable motto for my life. I'm like, no, I'm an adult and I should be able to take care of myself. If nobody else, I should be able to take care of myself and get the things that I need and get the things that I desire. And I also, in that time in my life, saw that manifestation alone and praying alone is not the remedy of that. It's not the remedy to get your financial affairs in order. You really need to have a balance of praying, manifesting, visualizing, putting that shit down on paper, really focusing in on what it is that you want, setting a goal for yourself, making a target for what you're trying to aim for, in addition to putting yourself in position for the alignment to happen, to bring you closer and closer and closer to those things that you desire. And so, and I'm leaving out a huge portion too of something really, really, really deep and impactful that happened in my life that was very traumatic, that was very dark, that was very heavy, that involved myself, and reeled in a lot of my relative, my close loved ones. It was a lot. It was a lot. It was dark, and that was also an added impact on why I was not in a position to show up for my community and to show up for my business in the way that was necessary. So I had to really just take one for the team, take one for my spiritual team, take one for my community, and say, you know what? The fastest way to get my needs met, my basic needs met at this time, the fastest way to make sure that my bills are being paid, the fastest way to make sure that I'm not worrying about money on a moment to moment basis, or a day to day basis, or a month to month basis, in a time where I do not have the energetic capacity to show up for my business and my clients, is to get a 9 to 5, is to enter back the into the working world in that way, because what is guaranteed is the paycheck. And that's what I need right now. Like, that's what my nervous systems needs right now. That's what my root chakra needs right now. That's what I need in order to feel safe, to feel stable, to feel taken care of, to feel like my basic needs are being met. And so I did that. I don't know. I was open. I became open to that. And it literally found me. That opportunity found me. I got a retail job, local to my home, so I don't have to travel very far. Decent pay, very dope hours, dope benefits, a lot of PTO, which fits my lifestyle because I still do travel a lot. But now I have the opportunity to take care of myself without worry, have a steady income coming in. And what I promised myself, so here's the meat and potatoes of this beautiful episode. What I promised myself in this time is that, okay, I'm not going to piss away this opportunity. I'm not going to get this paycheck, this guaranteed paycheck, and become complacent. What I am going to do is take advantage of the opportunity of this consistent paycheck that I'm going in and I'm investing in and working for. And I'm also going to put the rest of my energy into building my business, into doing the hard things, the annoying things, the tedious things, like working on my website and developing programs and developing systems for myself, and pouring into marketing and feeding my community on social media, and jumping back into my podcast so I could connect with my community in that way as well. And so I promised myself this because it was not a good feeling to once have an 100% availability of my time, to now have truncated that time into, I'm available only from this time to this time on these days, and I only have these days of the week off. And when I have those days of the week off, now I got to do laundry and tend to my home and tend to my family, and it's a lot. It's a lot. And so what I did was I made a commitment to myself that I have been keeping, and I am just so elated and proud of myself. And it speaks so much tenacity and strength into my journey that I didn't even know that I could develop at this journey, at this stage of my journey. And I'm just like really, really happy. So yes, getting a 9 to 5, assessing my situation, assessing where I was in the moment, assessing where I was in my journey, and saying, hey, there is no shame in going back to getting a job. There is no shame in putting yourself in position to make sure that your basic needs are getting met. If anything, that is self-preservation 101, and that's what we all need to be doing. We all need to be looking out for ourselves first, whatever that looks like. I'll give you another perfect example. At another time in my journey where I was down, I was living at home. I had just moved back from living somewhere else, and things didn't work out, and I ended up back at home. and my car was off the road. I had got into an accident previously, and I didn't have the funds to take care of fixing the car and insuring the car and whatnot. And so what I did was I went to get a job, and I also bought a bicycle, and I rode that bike every single day to my job. And then I went to get a second job, and I was riding my bike to both jobs and riding my bike around my neighborhood to run local errands for myself, like buying groceries and going to the bank and, buying clothes and shopping for myself and whatnot. Like, this was my mode of transportation. And so my point of even inserting that beautiful example is that you have to do what it takes for yourself to make sure that you're good, whatever it may look like. Like, do what's right for your journey at the time that it's right for you, and do it unapologetically, because at the end of the day, no matter what they say, the naysayers, the people who like to make fun of you in your community, no one is paying your fucking bills. No one is making sure that you're eating. No one is taking care of your family. No one is tasked with taking care of your responsibilities but you. And so what you gonna do? Make them laugh you out of a paycheck? Make people point and judge you out of doing things that are working for you? It's really insane. It's really crazy to give so much of a fuck about other people's opinions about your life that they're not even living. And so that's what I had to employ for myself. I was like, fuck it, nobody paying my bills. And two, I had to sit with, like, no one's judging me for getting a 9-to-5. It's me. It's me judging me. Like, prior to that moment, it was me telling me, no, you don't need that shit. No, we're staying committed on this process. No. Until I saw that, hey, this is actually going to free up some energy. Because if at that time that my finances weren't in order and I decided to pour into my business anyway, one, energy does not lie. So that energy, that scarcity energy, that desperate energy would have been infused in my content, in my offerings, no matter how well I tried to mask it. That's one. And two, I would have been creating from a scarce place. I would have been creating from a desperate space because, again, my basic needs weren't being met, and I understood that I did need money to survive. I did understand that I did need money to pay my bills. I did need money to do the things that I needed and desired to do for my well-being. And a lot of that energy, in my opinion, too much of that energy would have been infused in making sure I got this done. Therefore, that energy would have bled out into the offering and, in my opinion, tainted it. And so you as a consumer, or, my clients as the consumers of whatever it is I'm putting out, would have felt that. And that doesn't serve anyone in the purest way. That does not contribute to the total pure well-being of myself and others. It just doesn't. And that is just not the way that I wish to do business. That's not the way that I wish to put out offerings into this world. Money's necessary. Money's always going to be a thing. And I'm also not saying that this is permanent, but I'm also saying that I'm glad that I made the decision that worked best for me at the time that I needed it to, and it's working really well. And so I'm delivering on my promise to myself that I'm going to secure this consistent paycheck. And on the side of that, right beside that, I'm also going to feed my business. Since then, I have taken my website off of hold. That was on hold for 10 to 12 months and restructured it. Just recreated and rebranded the entire site, and I'm starting to put my products and services back onto my site available for purchase. And so you can literally go onto my site right now. That's veganeasellc.com and see what I've been developing already. Since then, I have also launched a course, Intro to Vegan, which is literally what it sounds like. So if you're the average person looking to not just necessarily become vegan, but wanting to dive into your conscious eating journey, you want to be more mindful about the things that you're eating. You want to get to the root of why you have the destructive habits that you have. You want to deprogram and reprogram your mindset in order to develop healthier, more sustainable habits for yourself and your lifestyle. This is definitely the course for you. So in this course, we go into, like I said, deprogramming and reprogramming the gut through the process of affirmations. You'll have a meal journal, where you're a food journal where you're writing down all your meals. You have different mindset prompts and activities in order to really dive into the root causes of your actions, the actions that you desire to transform. And also, of course, you get access to my Veganease original recipes along with my detox plans and just so much more. And so I was able to, in that energy of taking care of my root chakra, in that energy of taking care of myself, in that energy of making sure that my basic needs were met for myself first, develop something sustainable, hands-on, practical, and very valuable and transformational to my audience. And I'm proud of that. And there's so much more to come. So this is why getting a 9-to-5 was the best business decision I have made in in terms of my recent journey. And there's just so much more to come. I'm excited. I am filled with love. I'm filled with joy. I'm feeling abundant. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling so prosperous because I'm surrounded by love. I'm surrounded by support. I'm surrounded by beauty all around me. The weather's breaking. It is almost springtime. It's we're approaching the spring equinox, or the energetic new year, and I'm feeling good. And so my affirmation for you is that you're also feeling good, that you're doing what it takes to pour into yourself, you're doing what it takes to show up for yourself, you're doing what it takes to make sure that you feel good first and foremost every single day, before you go and pour into the world, before you go and to pour into your family, into your children, into your household, into your pets, into your communities, into your schoolwork or your day job, whatever it is. Make sure that you're pouring into you, because that what you pour into you, you can never lose. But what you pour into you will always have the opportunity to overflow into the other areas of your life. And that will forever and always be true. So I need you to love on yourself. I need you to bet on yourself. I need you to show up for yourself. I need you to show up to yourself, to your highest self, to the highest affirmations that you can possibly conceive, that you can possibly think of. I need you to really go in and know that you are king, that you are God, that you are the creator and creatrix of this experience that you are living. You need to know how powerful you are. You need to know how abundant you are. You need to understand how special you are each and every waking moment. And I just need you to love on yourself, and I need you to go in the way that I am going in, the way I am pouring into you. I need you to receive that. I need you to give that to yourself, and I need you to pour that into the next person. I need you to be able to plant a seed today and every day, so that we can all continue to grow and expand and get better and better and better, and to fight the chances of evil and darkness overtaking us, because that is just not the way of the light. That is not the way that we were intended to live this human experience. It can be so beautiful. It can be so abundant. It can feel so rich. It can feel so loving. And all we have to do is face that direction. All we have to do is focus our attention on what it is that feeds us, on what it is that gives us light, on what it is that uplifts us, on what it is that makes us feel fulfilled, on what it is that makes us feel passionate and compassionate toward others, on what it is that makes us feel whole. I love you. I love you, and I will see you and speak to you in the next episode. Peace.